Greetings, YouTube. Happy Friday night, or Saturday morning, technically, if you're across the pond and you're like me and suffer from insomnia. You know, it's been about a week since I made a video based off of some messages in the Line app that summoners were sending me about the Nameless Thanos issue that I talked about how it appeared in the wording of that message that some form of compensation was to come. We didn't have a timeline, but it sounded like it would be here in the next couple of weeks, maybe even the next week. YouTube, I can't tell you how nasty some of the messages I got behind the scenes were from people who said that it was a false video with lies and clickbait and that we weren't getting any compensation and that I shouldn't read too much into a message, blah, blah, blah. All I was doing was simply reading the message and saying the wording from the Kabam support team made it sound like it was not a if we're going to get compensation, just a when. And normally when that happens and the team is discussing compensation, which the message said they were, it should come in the next 1 to 2 weeks. Well, sure enough, that has happened for some people. I've talked to some people. I've been in some group chats online asking people if they beat the Nameless Thanos and if they've received compensation, and many people said no. So what's interesting to me is there seems to be, from what I can tell, to be two different parties right now with compensation. Those that filed help tickets individually and those that did not. Hopefully, everybody who beat Thanos when he was bugged, and much harder than apparently he was intended to be, will receive some form of this compensation at some point. But knowing Kabam, that could linger. But the big question is, what exactly is the compensation? And more importantly, as the community, do we think the compensation justifies the difficulty of what you face? Now, I have said from the beginning, I did not fight this Thanos when he was bugged. I am not getting this compensation. I don't deserve the compensation, but I do know summoners who really had a hard time against him. And so there's going to be the side, because I've already seen it in the comment section, of people who say there should be no compensation. You should just have not been wrecked, which I think is the most elitist thing I've ever seen in my life. But then, of course, there was also people who could have just kept refreshing if you got wrecked at the beginning. And so if you threw a bunch of revives and potions and units at, say, your champions because Thanos wasn't even 20 or 30% down, then that might be on you. However, I think the majority of people who reached out to me to tell me about their frustration said that it was in Phase 3 when Thanos was at, 30% health and below, that they just lost all the units they'd saved up. And it was also in that Phase 3 that he was really the most bugged. So it is with no further delay that we get into this text of the email. Hello, Summoner. Thank you for contacting Kabam support. I understand that you are concerned about the issue with Thanos and if there will be compensation. I am sorry for the inconvenience and disadvantage this has caused. Allow me to assist you with this. Please be informed that we have already fixed the issue with Nameless Thanos, and we are very thankful to our valued players like you for reporting this issue. If not, with your help, we will not be able to resolve it the earliest time we should. We are still working to address the situation and blah, blah. Do not have any information about compensation at this time. All right, so that was the first part of this message. And then when you get to the second message, you'll see, even though that they don't have any further information because they're going to be on the forums, updates should be shared. As for now, so that makes it sound like there's going to be a multi-tier of compensation. And I really do wonder if people are going to be upset. Maybe they should be, if they know that some people are getting more compensation than others simply because they filed the help ticket. This is also why I always say, if you have an issue, especially something that has been confirmed by Kabam as a bug that costs you units or revives or potions, you really need to take the time to file a help ticket and make Kabam answer for it, or else they're probably just going to ignore you. As for now, I have allocated the following items below in your account as a courtesy for your patience. So this does seem to me that this is limited to the certain people who filed the help ticket, and Kabam actually responded to that ticket. All right, 5 level 2 team health potions, 4 energy refills, 4 level 1 revives, and that's it. The energy refills to me are very confusing because it's only one fight, and it's 9 energy to get to Thanos. It's 3 nodes. So the last thing you probably should be compensated for is energy. Now, if you want bonus energy, cool. But you aren't worried about energy at this point if you have the fights against a bug. You're worried about team revives, single revives, and health potions. And so it's just very curious and confusing to me that they chose to include so many energy refills for a problem that had nothing to do with energy. This is not the case where you had to do, I don't know, 70 or 80 energy to complete a path. It's literally 9 energy per fight, and if you're level 60, that is quite a few rounds with a full energy per attempt. I mean, you could fight Thanos and quit several times and still not have to worry about using another full energy refill. So maybe the true compensation is yet to come. That will come in all players' inboxes, but regardless, some players have sent this to me as their first wave of compensation, and I just want to say, hopefully the problem gets resolved in the next week. But regardless, it's a strange situation. I also need to make a separate video, and I just haven't on this, but the lag issue, I've heard from Android users, from new iPhone users. I have an old iPhone. The lag issue is worse than ever, particularly in Alliance Quest and Alliance War, and I have seen major lag in terms of dashing back lately, and I've had people tell me that they were in the process of winning a fight, they dashed back, there was lag, and then when the frame rate actually sped up and made the lag stop, by the time that happened, they found themselves, when it lagged, there was a healthy distance between themselves and the opponent, and then by the time the lag caught up, they were getting wrecked with a 5-hit combo, and they were gone. I don't know if you've faced that problem, if you're watching this, but just know if you have, you are far from alone. I have had at least 10 to 15 messages, not counting the discussion my alliance is currently having behind the scenes as well, about the lag issue, and it's a huge problem. And even though I'm super excited about having the community choose a champion to be buffed, and it looks like Colossus may win that vote, given that there really aren't any good mutant champions from 2015 with the variant rank up gem from rank 3 to rank 4 available currently, and so Colossus would be the no-brainer for that gem. It still doesn't excuse the many, many bugs and the terrible lag that's going on right now. And you combine that with the worst monthly event quests, especially given the stakes of in-game of all time, and Kabam has still had a horrible, very bad, no good May. So let me know your thoughts on the 5 level 2 team health potions, 4 energy refills, and 4 level 1 revives. Maybe only a few people got this, but it is a step in the right direction, though certainly not full compensation for what so many people had to spend to get that boss down. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.